Alrighty, good evening everybody and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here from Talladega. Exciting race we are looking at here tonight for the Aaron's 299. Qualifying is already completed last week, so they're getting ready to line up here after their practice. So 113 laps are on the books here for tonight. 60% fuel and of course 10 sets of tires down in pits. Stella joining alongside me tonight. This fixed setup league here. With no faster pairs, a 96-degree track temperature, this should be fantastic weather out here for racing, and they have plenty of tires to go ahead and cycle through these cars.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them hit these 33-degree banks. Talladega is a speed factory.
All right, speed factory, draft factory, it could be anything out there, but a lot of guys are going to be placing and hedging their bets on a good race here tonight. Now, we just came off watching one of our drivers, Brady Moats, actually, coming away with a win here in the National Oval Racing Association, which, let me tell you, that guy trusted the process, made it happen, and it worked. So getting ready to get going here. Are our drivers out there on the track? So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid. Let's go ahead and get her ripped. Right now, Kevin Baumler and Dustin Cleveland will be starting in that number one position. That front row is going to be fast, but I expect to see them marching back sooner than later, seeing that the front line at any race I've broadcasted here at Talladega never seems to last. Sam Taylor starts third next to Dalton Tucker. Last week's winner, Brady Moats, sits fifth, and Jacob Gladelick out there in the number 20. He'll be starting in that Home Depot machine, starting in sixth. Moving on to Dylan Picklesheimer and Al Likens, who's seventh and eighth, and now that moves us on to row number 5, where Cody Reeder and Joey Stats sit. Now, these guys are going to be on edge here tonight because they are looking to kind of pick up where they left off, and Evernham Motorsports is looking to do just that. Moving on to Josh Conover, who sits 11th next to Cody Height. Looks like everybody fell asleep here at the line when it's time to go.
Oh, they sure did.
Yeah. All right, let's get going here. We're Jake Christenberry, 13th. Jacob Lee. Hey, all right, looks like the number 10 does return. Glad to see him back out here on the track. We'll see if that Valvoline machine can do something with it here tonight. Moving on to Matthew George, who's 15th, Vincent Arthur, 16th, and row number 9, Nick Pressey and Cody Smith. Looks like Nick Pressey gets out of fixing the appliances out here and gets her done here, and he'll be on the track. Cody Smith, 18th. Moving on to Eric Essery, who starts in the 19th position. I believe he is out there in the Tide machine. Yes, he is. Good to see him back. He has been on a little bit of a hiatus as well, but he'll have James Hudson to his outside. Moving on to Christopher Heights, who's 21st, Ed Adams, 22nd. Blade Timmons, boy, if I'm not mistaken, Blade Timmons, I think, is in the Target car. Yes, he is. Glad to see him back in the 39. He'll be going at it here with Brian Powell out there, and Brian Powell looking to have a good race here tonight. He's going to need a lot of help, as the 39 and the 41, oddly enough, almost the identical paint scheme, just different car numbers.
Yeah, they're looking out to kill me.
All right, last driver here in this pack is going to be Nick Gillis. Gillis, we've talked to multiple times out there, has unfortunately not had a solid season. This thing is kind of obliterated and blown this poor guy apart, and can just not seem to get a solid finish out here. But hopefully Gillis is able to kick that in overdrive.
She's changing over to 16, it looks like. A new number for Nick Gillis, trying to shake off that boogeyman.
Yep. Who drove the 16? Wasn't it Greg Biffle?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain the 16 was driven by Greg Biffle, who actually led the first lap last night at Darlington for the pace lap. We should be getting ready to go on here. We're waiting on it. Drivers getting lined up as we get ready to kick off the Aaron's 299. All right, Barney, get ready to let her rip. Here we go. No extra caution lap here as they want to go ahead and get underway. Speeds are going to be over 220 miles an hour here. Let's see who can hold on and who can do it. Right now, out of sorts is already Joey Stats, as he's falling off the table a little bit, rotates to the top. Is able to maintain position of 10th, though, but very, very unorthodox here, taking that outside line so early here into the race. I don't know if that's a line I would take right off the bat unless he wants to start way in the back. I bet you he didn't think his qualifying time would get him up that high here, Stella.
Maybe. Is he maybe falling back to find a teammate for this lovely drafting track?
Possibly. Hopefully Joey Stats. I don't see where that has worked in the past. A lot of guys have not really had a whole lot of success trying to link up with some other guys and get pushed up in front. Assuming that kind of thing is going to happen. So we'll see if, I don't know. We'll see if Dale Earnhardt Incorporated with Joey Stats, Josh Conover, Kevin Ballmer, Cody Height, and Brady Moats. See if they work together. Right now, not really anybody out there that from that team is as far back as he has fallen so far, down to 16th now.
Wow, this is a lot of shakeup here in this 3-wide section.
Yeah, that it is. Take a look at the Tide machine. High side, I believe that's Dalton Tucker as well. High side. Already outside line is starting to form. Al Likens charging from the outside on row number 2. Moving up there, Sam Taylor. Not bad. 3 wide here at the line.
Not only 3 wide, but 3 deep too. How many rows are choosing to take this outside, inside?
Yep, a lot of things going on. Jay out there confirming it was the Biff that was out there. I believe he has also been elected to the Hall of Fame, but has not made it in yet. A couple of votes should do it for him. And maybe Greg Biffle will make it into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. But we keep our eyes up front here with Kevin Ballmer, Justin Kleba, and Brady Moats. Moats actually racing out there. Should be in the Aaron's machine. Yes, he is. The sponsor of this race, Brady Moats, currently tumbling back down to 6th. But that's just inside line luck. Doesn't seem to hold up very well, but hey, right now, Stella, I am looking at everybody racing pretty solid out here. Nobody folding fenders up, and it is looking pretty dicey out there. As we take a look here at Josh Conover, we sit kind of in the right rear seat like a child, and we take a look at this race. Right now, you see a couple of guys to the outside making a shuffle. That should be, if I'm not mistaken, Dustin Cleveland there on the outside, and Jacob Gladelick pushing.
Yeah, I like this view. It's pretty cool. You can see just how close he is there to the 9 of Dustin Kleba. But very good. Hey, at least I'm not an infant, just looking out the back window.
Yep. All right, we take a look out the back window here at Gavin Baumler, who is currently leading this race. Yep, he goes ahead and takes lap number 4 led. As we get 5 started, take a look back at the wiggling entering the turn. Very tough here as our entire field only separated by about 2.2 seconds. Nick Geil is still holding the end of the field. He's the last guy in line out there. But I would say, we'll see, is making it happen. Hey, Stella, I don't know if I have greeted you. Michael Farron out there. Farron 07, just a friendly reminder that Farron is still fast. Excellent. A driver I used to broadcast for out there in the dirt. He is back out here. And Farron joining us here tonight with the National Oval Racing Association. We are here at Talladega. And boy, did you join us during a mix-up here. A lot of guys shuffling up. Right now, Dalton Tucker, one of the guys who's lost the most positions here tonight. Dalton Tucker has fallen down 14 places. Right now, he is down to 18th.
Yikes.
So him and right now, at least he's in some company out there with Joey Stats. Whose Stats is now down to 21st, currently sitting right behind him. Right now, I'm waiting to see if Cody Smith, who's actually the fastest one out here on the track, with a 48.01, reeling up behind Cody Reeder. If you want to make a note out there, Cody Reeder and Justin Kleba out there running the In the Fence podcast. And I tell you what, you definitely want to tune into this on Spotify. These guys are definitely rocking a great show. And they'll talk a little bit about real-life racing and a little bit about here in the NORA Racing League. There are different ways that you can join different leagues and cars that they are running. I believe they're also still running their next-gen league just on a different day. And you can join up with these guys, and they'll give you a little and things that are happening to go on in the inside. So check it out, In the Fence, out there on Spotify. Appreciate you, Farron, out there saying, miss that voice. I appreciate you, buddy. We had a little stumble up here at SimTraX. We thought about shutting her down. But there were a bunch of people who said, hey, get back in behind that screen. and talk to us about this race where we are 3 wide from 4 rows now as they move up around turn number 4. What a wild race here so far, Stella. Right now, these guys, you would expect a mistake, but not out of this league.
No, I am loving it. This is so nice to see a nice chock-a-block field out here on this great big track.
All right, a little bit of wiggling out there from our driver down on the bottom, and one we normally say doesn't have any problems, the number 24 car. Let's get a little closer, taking a look at that machine there of Vincent Arthur. Right now in that DuPont Chevrolet, I would say a little almost monochromatic out there. Normally we're used to seeing the rainbow car, but check him out down on the bottom as he dives back into 3. Right now he's looking to see if he can squeeze underneath here of Dustin Kleba. Now, Stella, I'm fairly certain last week had a little something going on with a couple of these drivers out there, and some of these guys not real happy with one another, and hopefully this does not carry over into this race.
Yeah, that would not be a good thing. Number 24, though, should have a little bit of mojo going, because this race that year was won by Jeff Gordon, 24.
If I'm not mistaken, this was also the same year that he went back-to-back wins. Not only did he win here, but he won at the following race as well, which should be next week, which will be at the Auto Club Speedway. He won there as well, so he's going to be continuing to hopefully channel some of that energy from Jeff Gordon to see if he can get that car up toward the front. Now, we are still 3 wide here, and I'm getting concerned. When you ride this this long 3 wide, if anybody might make a mistake, and everybody's hoping everybody stays pretty calm, we hop on top of Cody Height, who's currently running in 11.
Yeah, all I know is being in this position, you are white-knuckled. You had better have the fan on, because you are going to be sweating.
Yeah, oddly enough, going at this speed, you would think you would have 200-mile-an-hour wind coming in that window. Not aerodynamic-wise, absolutely not. It almost gets quiet on the inside of the car as the wind whips past you here. All right, here we go. Cody Height getting a little bit of a run here. That's going to go ahead and put Vincent Arthur off to the side there just a hair. Whoa! Little switch up here from Dylan Picklesheimer. Dylan Picklesheimer out there in the number 2 car. You can't miss him. The old Rusty Wallace paint scheme so far so good. He's following behind currently the 77 of Al Likens.
Take a look at Blade Cummins, though. He is up 14 places right now, sitting in 9th. That's pretty, make that 15. Sitting in the 39 car.
Yeah, not bad. It's exactly what you want to see, and you can find that kind of success here at Talladega. I can't say you can find that in circuit Richmond or any of the popular tracks. This is a track that you just pick and choose, get that right line and make something happen. But speaking of making something happen, ding, 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 that's it. Brady Moats back into the lead here, out front and leading. Check that out. He decides not to follow behind Kevin Baumler anymore. He wants to lead some laps. He said, man, this felt good last week. Let's do it a little more this week.
Yeah, but he was pretty much talking himself down as far as pre-race game goes. Down in the pits, I was talking to him, and he was saying that, he's down in like the 900s as far as a not winning streak on clay tracks, but he's going to give it a wing. I think you're right. He liked that. He liked the taste of that first place podium last week.
Well, as quickly as he gets it, he loses it. Brady Moats dropping down to 3rd, coming around to 2nd now, as you see him working here on the bottom. The Ryan Newman car of Sam Taylor starting to kick it into high gear. High line, not going to work around the turn, but on turn exit it will. Expect to see this kind of a position here around the final laps here of this race. A lot of guys are going to be holding their breath as they come to the line. If this were the last lap, that's going to go to Dustin Kleba by less than 30 thousandths of a second. So you already see a couple of guys tumbling up out here and wondering if that is going to work. Dylan Picklesheimer would love to see this outside line get moving, though. But right now, with James Hudson doing a little bit of blinking behind him, I don't think he's going to have any help here.
Yeah, now that would be a curiosity of mine, dealing with the blinking. The cars sometimes are able to go through other cars or do some acrobatics. Do they lose or gain the draft when they are all of a sudden missing?
Give or take. Depends how long they blink out.
No kidding.
Yep.
Oh, dear. Here we go. Number 9 just went sideways.
And then airborne. No caution.
Really? Okay.
No caution here.
I did not see that coming. I mean, that was like mid-pack.
What in the world happened there? All right. First things first, I do want to take a look here and see what happens to Christopher Heights in the 17. I'm trying to figure out why he went from running around the top and then fades way back. 17 hooked into the wall.
Yes.
17 again into the wall. 17 again, still into the wall. And that's what makes him fall way off pace here.
All right. I can understand that not causing a caution. How do we not have debris on the track or something horrible?
Yeah, we would definitely think. Kleba has been muffed up here a little bit right here toward the end. I do want to take a look here and see, as he was in the attempt of passing Kevin Balmer. Let's see if we can find a different angle here, as Jacob Lee is currently coming down pit road. I want to see if maybe we can get a chase copter cam. There we go. Kleba was in the lead, and about 5 seconds from now, somebody gets nudged. And we are taking a look here top side. Little bad shove here from Likens. And it pushes the 12 down the track.
Yeah, and 39 goes up. Kleba does something. I mean, is that just checking up?
Yeah, it definitely messed somebody up here. Right now, let me take another look at it, as we try to find out and break this down, what happened to Dustin Kleba.
So you say Likens has a push, 12 does come down. Ooh.
Yeah, 12 comes down and 39 comes up.
Yeah, and he fishtails out of it, but he's holding brake. Yep. But then...
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised this was not a caution here.
Yeah, because Jacob Lee launched him. Wow. Well, we have a full-scale pit road lineup right now from 13th to 22nd.
Yeah, that we do. All coming down pit road currently. Showing Jacob Lee had a problem out there. I'm hoping his night is not over.
Well, he's the one that was up under. I can't imagine he didn't suffer some damage.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a front left tire.
Yep. With plenty of damage out there, and I don't think he's going to continue racing. Back to the garage he goes.
Wow.
Didn't make it 14 laps of the 113 lap bout that we have out here. A couple more drivers coming on down. Remember, always here at Talladega, you do not want to pit by yourself. Dalton Tucker,
so
Blade Timmons, and Brian Powell coming on down, and that should be everybody from Chip Nazi Racing.
Along with Joey Stats.
Yep.
Now, this is a long pit road. I mean, 1,700 feet of pit road. These guys are... Oh. We have a little bit of a
strategery
twist right there.
I would say this track, unless you are going under caution, tires are going to be
optional.
Optional, yeah. Tires are not going to be really a thorn in your side out here.
Okay.
What this is definitely going to do is, now that we did not get a caution, everybody's pitting. We are going to be separated and all over the track, and no one's really going to be catching anybody here, as they are all in their own little mini packs out here.
Yeah, only our top 9 so far have not come down. I thought for sure I saw Dustin Kleba come down. Maybe not.
No, he has yet to come down in the pit. Notice the damage. I think he was praying that maybe somebody else would get messed up here, so he could come down and fix that car. Right now, Running about 186 miles an hour. He is well off pace. Yes, he's unable to grab a hold of the back of Dalton Tucker here. Help pull him the rest of the way around. So right now, Kleba running up front from a mistake that happened up front may have cost him the race. We're not going to mark him out, though. Right now, Evernham Motorsports with Reeder and Kleba. I've seen both these guys come back from 4 laps down and still place top 5.
Yeah, we've got Hudson up there still in 4th. He's up 16, but man, he is blinking.
Well, remember Christopher Heitz as well. Heitz is yet to come down in pit either. Right now, he's following behind Cody Smith, who's currently came in on lap number 16 for a fuel and go. They're back out there. Right now, the 17 will have the upper hand here as he continues putting distance on Dustin Kleba and Dalton Tucker. Tucker is able to almost reach up and grab him here. Unfortunately, he does need to be under half a second to reach him. Right now, he is picking up some sort of pace here. This is impressive.
All right.
Yeah, Stella, take a look at this. Cutting that time down.
I think he's got that draft now, boyo.
Yep. Well, he'll be following along. Expect him to sling to the outside and door draft the rest of the way around. We want to get out of the way of the guys who may think about pitting here. Most of the guys here have pit. So, there shouldn't be that much of an issue. I would say this large team here will have the upper hand just due to the teamwork.
Yeah, only, maybe 3 of our fellas took 4 sets, 4 tires in this last pit stop that they had. And that'd be Brian Powell, Blade Timmons, and Josh Conover.
Look how high right now Dalton Tucker is riding out there. Stays here toward the top.
Just what you said, though. He's coming in with that door draft, huh?
Yep. 100%. He doesn't like hanging in the back, so he's going to shuffle his way up to the front. Continuing the charge. That's now up to 11th. Cody Heitz next. Kevin Baumler is after that. Blake Hoppy rooting on Baumler. And Brady Motes. Motes did get a lead lap, I believe, out front there for a moment. But after some pit stops, has shuffled up this field and a little tangle up out there. Poor Dustin Kleba ended up getting him into some trouble. And unfortunately has sent Jacob Lee back to the garage. And has taken out the rest of his night. But right now, Stella, I believe Dustin Kleba is praying that he will make it here. I believe he may have gone down a lap.
Yes.
Well, that does leave, I believe, 8 drivers, including the 2 in the back, so 10 guys who have yet to come down pit road yet.
Right.
Yeah, right now, Kleba's praying the caution comes out. Right now, Brian Powell, Blade Timmons, Joey Stats, Dustin Kleba. I mean, heck, even Josh Conover. This guy's a lap down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brady Motes is a lap down. Gladelick is a lap down. These guys came down on different laps. Gladelick came down on 16. Right now, Conover Motes came down in on 17. Right now, apparently they got separated from their team out there. No difference in pit stop times. Except Conover did take 4 tires.
Yeah, now it's interesting that I had notification that we were looking at 24 to 25 laps on fuel. So for those guys who have not come in, I think it might be time. It's imminent.
All right, we'll hold our breath here and see if that is going to be the case. Sam Taylor out front. Al Likens been doing some pushing here. I did notice during practice, Al Likens was having a little trouble giving these guys some pushing out there as he swipes across the rear bumper a lot of times. There's a little bump right there. One more time there to the back of Sam Taylor. That.
Yes.
Right there, you see him slide a little bit on that back end. And that's got to make Sam Taylor nervous.
It makes me nervous, and I'm over here.
Yep, here they come. Looks Looks like they were able to get in. Nick Pressey, we're waiting to see if Pressey comes down. Yep, he's coming. Kyle is coming on down.
Oh, no.
21 is around. Ed Adams.
My goodness. There we go.
Let's take a look. Ed Adams entering pit lane here.
I was thinking that was just going to be a creative parking job, but nope, he was not in his own pit box.
Oh, no. Just loops it around, heading on into pit road. Bummer. Worst part about that is he's going to have to really be fast to try to get up to speed. He will have no help out there. Dustin Kleba unable to fix any of that damage.
No, he only came in 10:25 in the pit box, and worse yet, alone.
Yeah, the closest one out there would have been Ed Adams, who left pit road, but currently getting up to speed out there on the track. And now he might have a little help. I'm thinking the Blade Timmons may be pretty close. Timmons dealing with some front end damage.
Yeah.
Boy, he's going to have a rough night. Talk about taking an upturn in somebody's race.
Yeah, now we've got some shuffle-ups here, but Vincent Arthur is now up here in the lead. Ish.
Uh-huh.
Kind of depends on whether they're coming down off the end of that turn or not.
Our top 8 drivers out there in front of the rest of the field by over 8.5 seconds. Right now, I believe it's Arthur and Dalton Tucker in the front rows of their respective lines here. Matthew George is peeking in there a little bit occasionally for a second place. Looking to see if he can put anything else out there on the table. Right now, Kevin Ballmer, there he is on the outside. Right now, we have Cody Smith to his inside. A little bit of speed here. Going to get a boost. Watch for Cody Smith. Smith continuing. Boy, look at this speed.
No kidding. He hit some afterburners.
Yep. Well, definitely when you start getting in that slingshot area and you hit that aerodynamic bubble, loosens up that car, and then away he goes. Great job. He gets up over almost 200 miles an hour. 203 is his fastest. And taking a look, it registers 208. As fast as he went last lap.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, he's still our fastest driver out there on the track all night. He's the only one. Excuse me, he's not the fastest. He ran at 48.01. I believe our guy with the fastest time out there, let's see, is it
Nick
I was going to
Pressey
say, is it Nick Pressey with a 47.37?
Yes.
Okay, Matthew George I knew was pretty close. Out there with a 47.39.
There you go.
All right, looks like Kleba is about to be caught here. And unfortunately, this is going to put him yet another lap down.
Oh, wow. And caught in a bad way. He is hugely deficient on speed right now.
Yep, 175 miles an hour is all he's doing right now as they speed by him at about 200.
Is there any way when a pack is coming up to you like that you can get enough speed to tuck in with them? Probably not being alone.
And if he didn't have any aerodynamic damage here, that's what's holding him up the worst. If he was able to get those fenders pulled out and make that thing shake more like a bullet like it's supposed to be, and then he'd be able to follow around the outside, maybe able to get a door draft and sweep in behind somebody.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, but unfortunately that is not going to work out for Dustin Kleba.
It's like on the highway, you know? You'll be driving and all of a sudden somebody goes by you. I guess there's no there's no stomping it and being able to pick up behind them really quick. So.
Yeah,
All right, but here comes another set behind him.
Yep. Well, that may help him get back up to speed. I believe that should be led by Sam Taylor. This is going to be much of the same, 200 miles an hour. Watch how they creep up here.
Creep up? Yikes. That's not creeping. Nope, he was still not able to catch him.
Yeah, Ken Cleve out there saying this is pretty unacceptable. Hey, I couldn't agree with you more. I know that the rule book says they let iRacing control all cautions, so why iRacing did not throw it? I would say because the car didn't go sideways. Up in the air was one thing. If he had landed on the lid and spun around, then it would have thrown it. But I'm beside myself as well. I personally think we should have had a caution, or they should have manually thrown one. I mean, the guy's in the air, it's grinding on the passenger side of the car. It totals out Jacob Lee, where he can't even make the attempt at the repair.
Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't a solo car that right-turned into the wall or anything like that from the back of the field. You know, he was in the front row, and just too much going on there.
Yep. Now Brady Moat showing his true colors out here right now. He's running in the 21st position. He swears up and down he wasn't going to do very well, and he's proven just that. He is on the back half of the field.
Never manifest that negative energy around you. Jay's out there saying iRacing is slacking.
Yep. Well, right now this could be really, really well. Is kind of something that could work out between these two. Notice how the front pack is starting to catch the guys here. So they could make a pack of 6 and start trying to cut down on this 15-second deficit that they have from at least the guys all the way up to 12th.
Okay, now, the pack of 6, can it be a side-by-side like this and still be good, or does it need to be a line?
It depends on the race car. Honestly, it depends on the race car. I have had some success racing in Xfinity. Oddly enough, if you race almost door-to-door and push these two cars together, you can actually run faster as a set of 2 than you can in a single line. Now, unknown here on the Gen 4 cars, because currently right now you're seeing them running in a single file line. Ed Adams is starting to reap the benefits. Following behind the number 20 here of Jacob Gladelick. And that should be Christopher Heights, I believe, unfortunately, is a lap down here, but still hanging in there. Remember, some of these guys did come in down a little bit early. Right now, Stella...
initially, I thought I saw Conover, Moats, and Gladelick were going to take off and leave this pack of 3 on the outside line there, but they either the guys in the back either tucked in, like you say, Ed Dessery's reaping the benefits, or oh nope, he can't catch him again, or it tugged them backwards. Could Conover, Moats, and Gladelick be stalled out by picking up these guys in the back?
I wouldn't think so, no.
Okay, then they were able to the back 3 then were able to latch on.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, right now, the more the merrier. So, yeah, when you get a driver like, let's say, Ed Adams here, right now he's what I call the perfect spot. I enjoy it. But what you're able to do is you add that number 21 and you start doing what everybody hates and push that number 20 car. And watch the fireworks set off from the drivers in front of you. Because normally they say it takes 2 to tango, 3 to make a party here. You want it crazy, you watch the 21 give a nudge to the 20, and what it'll do is they'll start the accordion effect that they can't stop, and you all will end up picking up so much speed, but it takes a lot of coordination from the three in front of you to understand that's what you're doing.
Yes, that would have to definitely be a team situation to where you're say, here comes a push, guys.
Yep.
Versus surprise. Tyler DeTalent is out there saying, let's go, Big Daddy Cabin. So where is he sitting currently? In 8th, Cabin Baumler.
Yep.
Number 30.
Yep, right now he's actually reeling the back end of this front field. As he hangs back a little bit, it does take us about 7.5 seconds to find Sam Taylor. Back there with company. Dylan Picklesheimer and Al Likens to be exact. This is the clutch of drivers here. Then we find Eric Essery. And he's leading in front there of Brian Powell, Nick Preston, James Hutton, Blade Timmons, and Nick Giles. Right now, losing time is actually going to Josh Conover. Conover cannot seem to get these guys behind him to kind of work it together here. I would almost try 2x2 if he can radio up to these other guys. Seeing that anybody in his group here for Conover would be Brady Moats. Jacob Gladelick behind him, so I would almost ask the 20 to pull to the outside and see if you can change the fall off that you're running into here. 13.8 before Conover can find anybody in front of him. And it's now stretched out to 14.5 just over this last lap. So currently, this clutch of drivers right here are losing about a second a lap. And to me, you've got to stop the bleeding. Something's got to change here if you want to work your way back up to the front and make something of this race.
Yeah, now taking a look up front, here we are with Vincent Arthur, Matthew George, Jake Christenberry, Dalton Tucker, the only one in the field that is still where he started on the grid, and Cody Reeder bringing up 5 there. Who are the rest of our suspects? Cody Height and Cabin Baumler, like you say, bringing in the tail. Let's see if he ends up wagging the dog. But these guys have gone ahead and taken the single file route.
All right.
Like you were saying before. Yeah.
Well, also look at when our pit window is going to start opening up. If they separated the rest of the field, let's say drivers like Sam Taylor, Dylan Picklesheimer came in on lap 25. They're going to be trying to double it, so 50 is what we're looking for. But the rest of the field pit on around lap 16, 17.
Yeah.
So right now, we should be waiting for pit road to start getting pretty busy here. I definitely like the call here for the offset pitting.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
exactly what everybody tried to do here, is try to change it up just a little bit out there. That way they can maybe separate this field, and it definitely worked out. There we go.
Here they come. Right on time. Oh.
Oof.
Oh. That hurt.
Yeah, Matthew George might have some damage here to the left front, and he does.
How's Vincent Arthur's rear end?
Now,
Oh.
whoa,
Lord.
48 sideways. Jake Christenberry. He's not going to be a happy camper about that, taking a look at Vincent Arthur. Looks like he's got the halo over him here. No issues.
Okay. Boy. Come on, guys. He's going to be out there by himself here in a second. Okay. His little crew's catching up.
Well, even if he's out there, it'll slow him down. The rest will reel in behind him.
Okay.
So, yeah, no fear on that. What I would question is if these guys decide to short pit and try to level the playing field here.
Oh.
Aha! All right, here they come. Remember lap 25, these guys came down. They're going to short pit. So they're going to come down for tires and fuel, and the 88 punted.
Oh, man. James Hudson. Not good.
All right, that is at least the fourth driver here tonight who's had trouble getting down into pit road. Let's take a look, high side. Whoa! Now, Stella,
And you know
remember,
what I'm
most
gonna
of
say
these
about
guys,
that.
most of these guys are on the original tires here of the race.
Oh, yes.
So I think a lot of them are getting a little bit of a feeling they're not expecting. Now, right now, that car will be sitting in pit road here for quite some time. 17 fighting his pit crew here, saying, when do you want me to pit?
Yeah, we've got a couple fellas that are still out there. And they, Josh Conover, he pit on lap 17. He's a holdout. What happens now? He has lost his group.
I'm not sure. I know it's kind of weird because right now, that was Conover actually exiting. Almost looked like he was exiting pit road there. I don't know what's going on with Conover here.
Unless he's looking to come in at the same time Essery, Nick Eilis, and Nicholas Pressey come in. Here he comes.
Yeah, it just doesn't make quite much sense here why he would have been halfway off the track.
No, and something is up. He ran out of gas. Nobody does 12 miles. Okay, excuse me, 23 miles an hour.
You
on
see him put it into neutral there.
pit road. Oh, man. Wow. Well, that's definitely going to put a twist on things for him this evening. And not in a good way.
Wow. All right. Now we'll keep an eye on Conover out there. So, Stella, big question. Did the short pit pay off?
Well, we definitely have three fellas up in the top right now that are waiting to see that decision because they still need to come in.
Yeah.
They're the last holdouts.
Yeah, I would say looking at it, it 110% worked. Right now, look at Sam Taylor. Came down, back out there. Currently with Picklesheimer and Likens behind him. And right now, they are sitting 17 and a half seconds in front of Vincent Arthur. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
There we go. I'll try to find the backpack here. There they are. Yeah, Vincent Arthur almost seems out of sorts here.
That's okay. I have to bring up something. Christopher Heights is only 2 laps down. You realize he's never pit?
Yeah, he did pit. He was the 17 we saw fighting to get in the box.
It never registered him.
Yeah.
Cheetahs.
Well, hopefully Dustin Kleba is able to come down and get at his next pit stop some of that damage repaired. I'm wondering if he just may, I wouldn't say turn it in for the night, but come down, just kind of throw your gloves up on the dash and let your pit road get to work. They got to get that car fixed, at least get you raceable here for the night. Like I said, it was still kind of rough out there. Maybe he might be able to help his teammate out there, who's currently running out there in 5th. This is Cody Reeder and Dalton Tucker. Right now, we're still waiting for Gillis and Pressey and Essery, who've yet to come down in the pits yet since lap number 25.
Yes, those top three are still rocking it.
Yep. Well, right now, it's working beautifully, as right now they are following behind the target team. Brian Powell out there.
But like you say, 25 and 25, we should see them coming in around lap 50 or so.
Yep. So maybe this time by. Fortunately, they have been drafting here. That would definitely assist.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't help but feel bad out there for Cleva on this one.
No. I know. I'm here they come. Gillis is down, Pressey's down, Essery in.
All right, so cutting off that 28.5-second lead will be Dalton Tucker, who's working on getting up there. This is him coming on the exit here of turn number 4. Getting going here. Gillis trying to keep it below that line. Right now, a couple of guys look like they may have taken some tires out there. 11 seconds for some drivers, 8.82 for Nick Gillis as he's going to retain the lead. But I would say is those drivers who are creeping up behind him at 3 seconds and less, here they come.
Yeah, now these 11-second drivers, do you think that's just right side tires?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Dalton Tucker. I'm sure he'll be taking the lead here. As Nick Gillis heading back down pit road. Something tells me he missed his spot.
Oh. Just missed his tires, maybe.
I didn't even see where he even entered the box. So, all right, Stella, if you would, see what in the world happened to Nick Gillis out there. Unfortunately, this is going to put him all the way down to the 19th position.
I'll see if I can catch him.
All right. Right now, Nick Gillis is going to be scrambling to get back out there onto the track. And Matthew George will be the next one to sling past him to get another position. Right now, Gillis has gotten out there, 4 tires and fuel. And back out he is going to go. A lot of guys ending up some laps down here. And some shuffling up of what in the world is going on. So Dalton Tucker now leads the race. Cody Reeder, we talked about just a little while ago. He was currently sitting in 5th, is now 2nd. Kevin Ballmer moves up to 3rd. Cody Height in the 15 machine sits in 4th. And Cody Smith rounding out our top 5. Driver lap down is Matthew George here. And Stella, any update out there on Gillis?
Yeah, catching up with him down in pit road. Turns out when he came in the first time, he sped. So he had to come back through and figured he'd go ahead and take tires on this round. Like 57 miles an hour. Not by much, but they got him.
Wow. All right, well, not good.
A little hateful, yeah.
Yep. Hate to see that happen, so instead he voluntarily serves a drive-through. He'll be going back at it. All right, Stella. Right now, our front 5 are separated from the rest of the field by almost 8 seconds out there. Look like they are slinging by Conover. And that is Conover and the number 16 of Nick Gillis. This is giving a boost of confidence out there for Brady Moats. Moats currently is now up to the 16th position. I wonder if these guys continue to consider short pitting almost this entire race.
Yeah, no. I think at some point tires are going to become an advantage. Oh, there. All right. Thought we had a little third row push going on there, but just tucking up real close.
Yeah. And if anything, if I'm talking about short pitting, is these guys not waiting the full 25 laps before they come down. You know, it seems these guys who keep coming down every 16 just keep capitalizing out here.
Okay, my apologies. I was thinking, you know, short versus 4 tires and fuel long.
Definitely choking up on the stint length has worked out. The drivers like Sam Taylor, Dylan Picklesheimer, and Al Likens, currently they are 6, 7, and 8. It's a heck of a lot better than where they originally started.
It's interesting what tracks that works on and what tracks it doesn't. Because we have seen trying to get off cycle and whatnot really become disastrous. Lack of a better term. And guys ending up laps down, ending up in, you know, not having partners. So good to see that Talladega is one of those that they should consider that, should practice it.
Yep. All right, Stella, and if I'm not mistaken, Vincent Arthur may have suffered the same issue that Mr. Gillis did, where he had to visit down into pit road on lap 41 and lap 42.
Uh-oh, okay.
And I'm wondering if it's from the Matthew George nudge on the way in, if it got him for speeding.
Oh, how rude. Sorry. that would be totally unsatisfactory.
Yep. So I would just double check down there with Hendrick Motorsports and confirm out there with Vincent Arthur's pit crew, and maybe talk to the crew chief and see if we are confirming that is the exact same thing that happened out there. I hate to see that may have what got Vincent Arthur a little off kilter here and set these guys back. We'll see how that works out. We're kind of switching around here just a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and chunk you down there and see if she can find anything out there from Vincent Arthur. Moving around a little bit out there. Arthur has now fought himself up to the 11th position. A lot of work left to do here in this race. Only 59 laps will be complete this time by Cody Reeder leading the race, though, as Dalton Tucker falls behind him. Yep, you might be thinking the number 8 out front. Yep, that looks familiar. Having a little bit of Dale Jr. Leading the race here at Talladega, where he was able to come away with a win as well right after his daddy ended up winning it. And then, but no, unfortunately, that is going to be Josh Conover trying to keep from going multiple laps down here. I believe he's already down 2 here in this race. The number 8 is in front out there of Cody Reeder. Reeder says, hey, man, go ahead and take the reins of this one. I'm going to use you to help for a little bit of fuel mileage. Stella, update on Vincent Arthur.
Exactly. You called it. He got bumped in the back by Matthew George, nailed for speeding, and boom. Had to go through and come back around again.
Man. Well, you know he's going to be cussing Matthew George out there, as his own teammate has made him, unfortunately, serve a penalty. So not only that, Vincent Arthur, when he came down into pit road, that means he sped, being hit by his own teammate of the number 25, which we see right on the edge of right in the middle of our screen now. And Jake Christenberry ended up breaking sideways, trying to pull into his box. And remember the number 48 breaking loose. And he actually ended up almost spinning out there. So I'll tell you what, that team down there for Hendrick Motorsports right now is pounding their head off the desk trying to figure out what in the heck is going down around pit road.
Yeah, it's something I preach a lot, is that everybody practices racing on the surface. Not a lot of people practice coming in to pit. I mean, because every track is a little bit different. The speed, the corner coming in, the length of the pit road, the speed you're allowed to go. It's something. It's really part of the race. You mess up on that. I mean, look at yesterday's race at Darlington. You've got a guy that comes in, his pit stop is perfect, he's back out, and ends up taking over the race because, he used that pit stall at pit time well.
Okay, so you must be making the mention out there of Denny Hamlin's win there at Darlington.
Absolutely.
All right, yep. Well, that race was definitely out there and commanded out there by William Byron for over 2/3 of that race. Quick pit stop by Denny Hamlin's team. I would say, knowing from the history of Denny Hamlin, his pit crew finally comes in clutch. Got him out right before and ended up getting him in the final 2-lap shootout. But
I'll tell you, it does not make up for the 6 other races that they killed him on. He goes in 3rd and comes out in 8th.
Yep. All right, already halfway through this race. This race is not quite what we expected. We enjoyed that 3-wide racing we saw out there, but I would say everybody's just going to kind of putt around here, work on a little bit of that fuel savings, and try to churn their way up to the front and keep it rolling. Right now, Cody Height does take over for the lead. Cody Reeder on the bottom. Yep, we got the 2 Codys right next to each other again.
Love it.
Yep.
Well,
right now, I believe Cody Smith is sitting right behind them all. So everybody confirming the 3 C's out there. Well.
Oh no.
2 C's and a K.
2 C's and a K. Yeah. That's the way I keep them apart.
All right, so we got 2 big clutches. This clutch here, we're looking at Sam Taylor's clutch, where he is sitting with Sam Taylor, Picklesheimer. These guys are sitting about 4.5 seconds off. And then 17 seconds off of the lead. We are back here with Vincent Arthur and the rest of the company behind him all the way back to the 20th position, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe back to the 18th. Yeah, I think back to the 18th position with Nick Pressey. So big separation from all our guys out here. Let's take a look. Remember, Justin Kleba, the poor guy in the number 9. And that's Kleba all by himself, still out there on the track, almost just ticking off the laps. As he cannot believe none of this is going under caution.
Yep. It's unusual, but not unheard of. Yeah, it is a shame, though, that we've got other fellas that are a lap down or more, so even one caution isn't going to put him back on the lap.
Yep.
Now, mind you, if you've got the big one, it may improve his state of affairs.
Yep, here they are working around him currently. I guarantee you, Ken Kleba almost probably shut this broadcast off. Not happy with the call out here tonight, as it looks like going down yet another lap. Justin Kleba. Hate seeing that for him here. Matthew George right now, I think, is playing in and out of on the lead lap or not. All right, now consider the 25 right there is a lap down. The leader is the 15.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because I think Guileless is our first one on the list of lap downs.
Yeah, Guileless and George.
Okay.
As they're right next to each other. So, What do you say they come down into pit road? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get it fired up here. A couple of guys are working their way on down. All right, now our 6th, 7th, and 8th drivers now. 6th, 7th, and 8th place drivers. Matthew George is a lap down, and Vincent Arndt are coming on down. Wow! The 21 punts the 20 out. Ed Adams giving a shove there to the Home Depot machine of Jacob Gladelick. We'll see if this causes a problem here for Gladelick, as if it may go ahead and give him an improper entrance into pit road.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Well, he was into pit road, and then you bump the guy into the grass. Remember, you can't protest anything till after the race. By then, it's too late.
Yeah, really. All right, so here are top 5 drivers. Heitbaumler, Taylor, Picklesheimer, and Likens. Oh my, they just got, oh, this is like full-scale abandonment of the track.
Yep.
Essery, Timmons, Powell. Yeah, somebody we're not seeing, ouch, missed his box. Somebody we're not seeing out here tonight, Brian Jones. So his woes continue after last race, because he was actually disqualified for running tonight. Was that wasn't a car backwards back there, was it?
I don't believe so.
Oh, good. So I thought he was sitting in the box backwards. Yeah, he caused had 3 cause cautions last week, and that's your limit. So that's going to hurt him gravely, I believe, when it comes to the standings.
3
so after Martinsville, after Martinsville, he'd already dropped 2 places to 5th in the standings, and missing tonight is going to be painful.
I think it's pretty neat that some guys do appeal their race penalties using the broadcast. I love it. We try to give as many camera angles as possible. I would say Matthew George down there with 4 tires and fuel. This is going to hurt. He's way back there now. Early, I think the closest one's going to be Josh Conover. He's going to be looking to pass him here in just a moment. This is currently them running him down. That is Dalton Tucker is actually in the lead.
I was going to say, Conover's got himself hooked up here to the front pack, even though he is a couple laps down.
Yep. Yeah, they're definitely struggling here. Keep it all together. All right, let's take another look at our map here of where our guys are. Now remember, as it does continue to wear on and the race continues, that these guys do start clumping together.
If you say so, they were better clumped before.
Well, this is now Matthew George currently getting ready to clink into our leaders here.
Now he's close. He may be able to... In there. Oh, nope. Nope, lost it.
Well, give it to Conover. He'll probably let off just a hair here and might be able to reach back and grab him. Maybe. Nope. Isn't going to do it. Well, Matthew George is actually racing out there with Hendrick Motorsports. He may be SOL here. Taking a look, Matthew George is getting up 196 miles an hour. He might have it. He's within that half a second mark.
That's what I was wondering.
Gonna grab a hold of the draft here.
I'm always 0.3. You say a half a second. If I always think if they can get within 0.3, they can. Oh man, is he right on the teetery edge?
Leva?
Yes.
George losing it here. Now up to 0.8. That's, yeah, he should be out of it.
Yeah. Bummer.
I do give it to George, though. He's still holding his own.
Is that like poker getting it the hard way?
Well, I'm impressed to see he's not just falling off the table here. We'll definitely see how it's going. See if he loses another 10th there. So that may be the end there for Matthew George and catching up to that pile. So Dalton Tucker been leading this one for quite some time, getting out front, enjoying his time in the lead. He's definitely, he has been in this position before and has been loving it. Right now, he's been leading since lap 68. Where he overtook it there from Kevin Baumler. Had a little tussle up there with Cody Reeder. But was able to take it right back from like a mile later. So.
Yeah, Dalton Tucker led 75 laps last week at Martinsville, and still ended up in 5th. So it's a never say die situation for sure. It's everybody's game. That's what I like about the racing. You know, Brady Moats led 52 laps. Nick Pressey came in 2nd last week and led no laps. So it's you never know what's going to happen, and that's the fun part.
All right. Now, I do appreciate everybody joining here for the race here tonight. This is the Aaron's 299 at Talladega. Definitely putting on an awesome show here. Watching a couple of different angles that these guys do take and are pressing around here and seeing what different strategies that they decide to take. Would say some question whether or not they are or not going to make it to the end. I would say in the numbering that you see here. A couple of guys have been trying their luck. And now I'm impressed to see Picklesheimer. Right now, Sam Taylor, Picklesheimer, now Likens. They've yet to change of position here for about 65 laps. As they continue following each other nose to tail.
They're comfortable.
I guess so.
I'd rather have somebody behind me that I know what they're going to do, you know, or in front of me that I know they're not going to be crazy and cause us all the race. I'd stick with them.
Yeah, but occasionally I'd want to change the guy in the front.
Oh.
You know, to know if that guy in the front is any is Al Likens faster than the 3 of these guys?
Oh.
You know, has he saved his tires just a little bit more than everybody else? And that would be the guy you would want to push.
Yeah, because if he can go faster than the guy in the front, then the guy in the front's holding you up.
Right. So
Gotcha.
The big thing is when you start getting teams like this, and guys who work together, the biggest thing you'll hear them keep radioing up, what's the relative? What's the relative? What's the relative? And they want to know where they are on the track compared to the rest of the other drivers. And the last thing they want to do is find out they're falling off. Holy cow, first caution here of the night. The 88 of James Hudson is around.
Oh. Yep, he is officially off track and in the grass.
Holy cow. James Hudson ends up spinning it around a bunch of times here. Let's see if we can get Ken a little wound up here. Seeing what causes a caution for James Hudson. And we do not get one thrown there out there for Kaliba. Whoa!
Well.
I have some follow-up questions.
Thank you.
What was that?
Wow.
I'm trying to see.
Why was that? Was my thing. I mean,
Why
was
is his
that
car
not
loading
Cody
and
White?
unloading here?
Did he let off for some reason behind Al?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm kind of confused here. It shows him hitting nothing.
Oh, truly.
Watch.
Oh, the whole and his whole front end crushed. Yeah, we need to see the front and the of his car and the back of Al Likens. And needless to say, while we are doing this, everybody is coming down pits to take care.
Yeah, Blake Hoppy might be questioning if there was a downshift here. I'm definitely trying to see if I can find something a little more forgiving. I'm hoping to see maybe what happens here. Why it did this. Let's take another look at it here.
No, too late.
I don't see anything happening. I mean...
No, I did not see any change in the RPMs.
Yep, no downshift, no hit, no nothing.
Nope. Yeah, I still would love to see the front end of if we've got it to where he made maybe chopper view or something straight down. I'd love to see where the contact happened. Because if the ghost car, that's not. Oops.
Yeah, I can't seem to get it to roll back any farther.
But here, look. Clink. I mean, there's no. Wow. Well, I will watch for the infield car care center to see if James Hudson comes in, because he's got some definite repairs to do, I would assume. If he could get his team off the lunch break, the gossip session.
Looks a lot better than the folded up corners he had earlier.
Yeah, very confusing.
So the Aaron's 299. First caution comes out here of the race. Wait for everybody to get back out there. Single file restart. I believe Josh Conover will get inside line. I know it's a little confusing because I thought during this year, inside line was all lapped cars. Not just the one who's the highest up, so I'm a little confused on that. But wait to see Christopher Heights get back up there. He's got to hurry up. Right now, I'm fairly certain they are currently turning into turn number 3. That's Dalton Tucker working his way out. Currently, Tucker down in 19th, comes down in pits. Spends a minute getting it fixed. Here we go. Here's Matthew George. There's Christopher Heights. So must have gotten a single wave around. All right, Blake Hoppy, I don't know, buddy. It looks like an iRacing fumble out here and may have started this whole thing. First caution here of the night happens on lap 76 of this 113-lap race. Let's see these guys get going. Finally, all our lap drivers catching up to the inside line. James Hudson dealing with more damage out there, and he's going to be getting back at it.
Yeah, went down into went down into Robert Yates Racing to see if we could get any clue on what happened in that last caution, and everybody's kind of wondering the same thing. So, yeah, James Hudson's game is over for tonight. His race is finished. So we may hear from him in a little while. I told him he could probably go back, take a look at some of the replays, and see if he has any answers to those questions we're all wondering.
Yeah, noticing some of the timing. Hopefully his teammate is able to take a look at Al Likens. I would question, Al Likens had been blinking earlier here in the race and a little bit during practice. I was wondering if we didn't lose complete connection with him, but between the two drivers they had lost something. So I would almost look at the last 5 laps and see where the 77 is. And if he blinked out the previous lap, if it doesn't transfer enough data out there, and it has now cost him his race. So, all right, Kevin Baumler out there leading it. So right now, Blake Hoppy pretty happy about this, seeing the number 30s out there.
I was going to say, his fan club out in the chat has got to be jumping up and down.
Yep, right now you see Vincent Arthur pushing Josh Kahn over to the front. Whoa, Arthur getting loose.
Let's not do that.
Well,
What did Jay always like to say?
Yeah,
Cautions breed cautions.
Arthur's right close here to Conover. The one who's loosening him up here is the 25 of Matthew George. See George getting super close and taking any kind of rear downforce off that 24 machine.
I think Vincent Arthur may be dumping marbles out behind him here if Matthew George doesn't stop getting quite so tight. Man, you guys are getting awfully close. I'm always impressed.
Riding along here with Al Likens, taking a look at it. Right now, you see that 77 is making a little bit of a switch up. Top, down, and bottom. So right now, his Dodge is getting really loose, but enough to get Kevin Baumler pushed out to the lead and then switches it up on him. Baumler to the outside.
Wow.
Notice how we're 3 wide. Jacob Gladelick bringing up the rear. Notice how the rest of this field starting to show signs of life. I know everybody hates cautions. It definitely switches up the rest of this field and what guys are and are not going to do. I enjoy it because this now puts everybody back together. I know a lot of people.
Does.
Yeah, a lot of people are against aggregation here. If the guy were to win by half a lap, the happier the driver is. But man, oh man, this is when you get to see a little bit of the skill here from the driver. Right now, a lot of skill out there from Kevin Baumler, trying to be easy before his spotter says, hey man, we got no room out here to make anything happen. So different pit strategies by some of our drivers down there. A lot of them decided to take tires, others just stuck with fuel. And I guess they're starting to notice who took tires and who didn't. Right now, most of our tire takers are oddly enough in the back. They are moving up front as these tires start to settle in. We've been back on the green here for about 6 laps. And right now we are getting it back underway. Kevin Palmer, remember I said he was falling back? He was sitting in 11th as we sit currently on top of that AOL machine. He is now up to 5th. He's already working, pushing Sam Taylor out to the lead.
Nicely done. Yeah, I'm looking at some extended pit times for several of our fellas. Dalton Tucker, Nick Gillis. You thinking maybe a little bit of Joey Stats, Cody Height repair?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
you do not want to be aerodynamically challenged out here. As you can see, it is still punishing Dustin Kaliba.
And he spent almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, and here he is. Yeah, so he can't play with the rest of the kids on the playground. If another caution comes out, I would say he's going to miss the big one because something's getting ready to happen here. Watch the number 2 in the 39 here, dead center. 39 of Blade Timmons sending it up. He was the cause of the last mix-up out there that we had there with Dustin Kaliba. Not pointing fingers and saying it's his fault, but he was involved in how it started. Notice how Al Likens dropping down one lane. Already on the first dive. Sam Taylor trying to get a little bit of side draft here. He is watching Conover try to get around him here. Not bad by Sam Taylor. Take a look.
Nice. Okay, am I the only one leaning?
Yep.
Ah. Couldn't help
Keep this race
myself.
going. Notice how these guys 3 wide for 3 rows. Now 4 rows. Not bad. Number 20 machine bringing up the rear there for Jacob Gladelick. Let's see if anybody peels out and goes up to the top. Just help that outside line some more. Right now, seeing Cody Smith sitting back off the playing field here, back down at 15th. A little unusual to see that cat machine, but apparently he might be tuned in. I think he hears me. Looks like he was taking a peek there toward the top line. Might get a run here on the 41. Sling himself up to the top, but Stella, let me tell you right now, if there is trouble in the front pack here, that top line is death. There's nowhere to go except you and the wall.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in the middle, there's nowhere to go, period. Oh, wow. Yeah, they are lumped up and fierce. You want to be close, but then if you're too close, like you say, if something happens, how the heck do you get out of the way? You have a split second.
We see Dalton Tucker change his mind here, drops down to 13th. Volunteered for a lot of camera time here tonight. As he is going ahead and knocking it down, decides not to keep this 3 wide going much longer. Notice how Vincent Arthur buries the nose there into the number 8. Gives him a good jolt up to the front. That is giving him an opportunity. 8 now back out front. He's down a lap, he's not down a lap. He's down a lap, he's not down a lap. Well, there. That's exactly what you see. You see Vincent Arthur give a nudge there to the 8.
Yes.
And as soon as he does it, the 25's there to close that gap. And bumps the 24 back up front. I just love to see people like Eric Essery go in there and do it even more. Let me tell you, when you get
Brady Moat back up here in the front. I mean, he's in 4th on that outside. Well, he's 2nd in the outside line, 4th overall, and he was way back in a lap down at one point.
Yeah, but he is. That outside line is probably almost the most unsteady out there. Right now, those guys are bobbing all over the track on turn entry and on mid-turn. And right now, this is a beautiful view here of Kevin Balmer and Brady Moats getting up there. Oh, Balmer changes. Yep, here it comes.
Not sure if he meant to.
Oh, man. Yeah, Balmer was clear, but then didn't complete. and that slows down the outside line. That's what happens when you give up on it. So now they've got to work this line yet again. Gavin Ballmer's got to drop down to the bottom here. Get a little closer to Picklesheimer. There you go. There's that door draft, and this will get them rolling again.
Man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 48 in the wall.
48. Yes. Ouch.
Jake Christenberry. Oh, Kevin Baumler.
Baumler just came down. Oh, my heavens to Betsy. That 48's saying, I'm good. Oh! Wow.
Yeah, Baumler looks like he just lets go of the wheel here.
And then back up the track. Wow, it almost took Kladelik's nose off there.
Yep. Race to the line here. Out front. That's going to put Conover across the line. That'll get him a lap back.
And we actually raced to the line at this year?
I do not believe so. This was our switch year.
Oh. Okay. Sorry, I was all excited all of a sudden. Because I've had to learn there is no racing to the line on caution. You're stuck right where you are when it happens. But you had me going.
Yep. So huge pile up here, and it looks like it starts with the 30 of Kevin Baumler. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, because 48 was doing his own thing. Granted, he got the wall.
Oh.
But.
Is there a block here by Conover?
No, I thought 12 just kind of ticked him in the back corner. Look at this.
Look at Dalton Tucker.
Oh. Let's see.
Brakes.
I know. Why did those two collide and now he's up and down?
Did he even touch the 20?
Not really. One of those immaculate receptions. Immaculate connection.
All right, everybody coming down pit road now. As I want to take a look once again here from Dalton Tucker. Like I said, he's gone ahead and elected for some time tonight. Let's see what he sees. Maybe. Definitely be nice. Let's try that again. Let's take a look. Ready, pile up. Nine spinning, 21 back in front. Baumler back up top. Baumler coming back down. 20 trying to stop. Wow.
Nice. Jay out there in the chat says, carnage. My goodness. Yeah, I don't know where I would start. Well, yeah, I kind of do, but what exactly the impetus was on that caution? To me, it was right up in the front row.
Yeah, it definitely looked like we were trying to make sure we held position. And I think somebody just was looking for an out, and we didn't have an out. So, yeah, started getting a run, and no can do. I do want to grab a hold of our volunteer here tonight who ended up volunteering for some of our cameras out there. Right now, I do grab a hold here of Dalton Tucker. Dalton, dude, this how nervous was you on that one?
Well, I had a teammate behind me, so we're trying to call out like what we're seeing, and that was lucky, but it was like the seas parted.
Dude, we did a ride along with you, and it looked like you just made it through. So, holy cow. Talk to me about this race, man. Definitely switching it up top to bottom. A lot of guys out here trying to battle for position. But, you know, when this race gets spread out and we've got some short pitting out here, how do you hang in there?
Yeah, I thought I had a really good strategy. I was up front. Late race caution came out. I was still up front. Unfortunately, I had to go to the bathroom, so I lost all that position.
Ah, the 59-second stop.
Yeah, so I had to go to the back, and it's been interesting back here. It's hard to pass. You get a lot of speed, you just can't go nowhere.
Boy. Everybody says it, you know, it takes 2 to tango, 3 to push, 4 to make a party. I always love seeing a four-man party when the fourth guy actually starts pushing. Have any of you guys worked on that out there?
It's definitely sketchy the more you get. You just can't see anything, and eventually somebody's nose is going to go up under the rear end of somebody.
Oh yeah, I definitely see that. I know, short track racing, everybody sits down in the car, or should, that way you can see out of the windshield. But super speedways, you almost want to sit up in the car, that way when you're going around the turn. I like being able to see about 5 to 6 cars in front of me, because if I see smoke, hey, it's already time to start avoiding. Here it comes.
Oh yeah, a lot of times you see smoke, it's too late.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Dalton Tucker from Chip Nossie Racing, good luck out there, buddy. You got a lot of work to do.
All right, appreciate it.
All right. Dalton Tucker out there. He'll be in the number 42 car. We'll see how we can get going here yet again. Now, pace truck lights are out. I would say Josh Conover should have at least one of his laps back, as he finished out in front of our leader. This does put Matthew George in front of him, though. And Dustin Kleba back at it. Last came in on lap number 87 for 1:16. I think his number 9 car looking pretty solid now, as we have 18 laps left to go here at the line. Let's get her done. Right now, look at the 15 car, Cody Height dropping it off the table there to go ahead and start chopping his way up to the front. 41 Machina, Brian Powell, his teammate, sitting right behind him, trying to push Tucker up to the front. Hard move there by Joey Stats. Stats gets down to the bottom. Everybody's feeling confident that low line is the winning line. Vincent Arthur in the lead. Expect Al Likens to not keep that alive. Right now, watch the 48 and Jake Christenberry start firming up this outside line. Christenberry with only a 7.7 pit stop time. I'll probably say that is not enough. He dealt with some damage. Remember, he was the first one to hit the wall out there before the wreck started happening. That ended up in turn 3.
Yes.
But Christenberry doesn't seem any worse for the wear.
No,
that outside line, but Stella, notice that we are not 3 wide. Conover getting out of the way.
Oh, wow. I believe he might be serving the knee. Oh, well. Sorry. Wow, Al Likens, I thought for
Sam Taylor into the wall.
Yes.
Hard shot. We'll see if I can get a replay of what happened to Sam Taylor out there, as he's immediately bumped out of line. He had some trouble here. Let's take a look.
Oh, had a little help.
Yep. He's knocked into the wall there and can't recover.
But no caution, no harm, no foul.
Well, the only harm and foul that we've got out here right now is 0 car. Nick Pressey. Right now, Pressey almost fell off the table there on his connection. Right now, they lost his car, put him in almost dead last, returns him back to 8th. And guess where he is? Right in the hot spot.
Yes. Yeah, I would venture to say he is going to avoid that bottom line. I think he received a penalty last race for being 4 tires below a dotted line. So.
Oh,
Whoa,
contact here in the
clink.
front. Yeah, buddy. I tell you right now, that's Cody Smith trying to send a message here.
Is it?
And the inside gives a little knock here to Eric Essery. He's letting him know. Cody Smith says, I've been here for just about every race. Eric Essery, you haven't been here in a while. I'm not going to let you take this win from me. Here it comes outside line.
Yeah, but that's what I was watching was Vincent Arthur. The last couple pushes he's given have not been steady. Either his push has not been steady or the Essery's reaction to it.
Yeah, Essery almost feels betrayed here right now as Vincent Arthur goes to the outside. That's going to leave Essery falling back down to 4th, but heading it out with the help of Cody Reeder right behind him. Right now, the number 19 Dodge staying right behind him here, rocking the Jeremy Mayfield paint. Right now, a couple of guys are taking a peek down here below the yellow line. Go past the entrance of pit road up to the line, 13 to go.
I think the Ladalick had a little taste of the Talladega wall there. Dropped him back
down to 5th. He doesn't have to worry about the 25 to the inside of Matthew George, who's currently down 2 laps. Keep an eye, as right now the 15 car is going to be looking to get that next bite. Right now, Cody Height is there. Outside line, consisting of Jake Christenberry and Brady Moats. Moats would love to return for a back-to-back win. Right now, Vincent Arthur trying to do his sponsors and Jeff Gordon proud by coming away with a win here at Talladega. He's in striking distance, currently sitting 3rd. Right now, the worst spot you can be is in that number 1 position, but Cody Reeder says, I don't believe so. I'm going to take it over.
Wow. And he took it with a stick and a fizzle.
Yep. Well, inside line is getting ready to fail here pretty soon. Whoa! Jam up here. Here we go. Now we got guys beating and banging around. Brady Moats involved. And it looks like everyone survives. Great job as they merge back into it there.
Not
and
yet.
Shame on him.
Oh, Ed Adams just turned left right into Al Likens. That is going to be the end for those two. But, hey, we got a caution.
Yeah, real shame here to see Al Likens get punted off right here at the end. This will bring us somewhere around 5 to 8 laps to go here in this race, and unfortunately this does bring out the yellow flag. And it looked to me like Al Likens had returned back to the pileup here. Now notice the 77 as he merges back in. He's clear, and he's right here at the line, but Matthew George tries to give him room and actually causes the caution here. And takes out the 77 who completely listened to his spotter and said, you're clear, and up he goes. Ed Adams and the 77 machine destroyed here. And we'll take a look at their hit to the wall. I hate seeing this.
Yeah, Matthew George, a little bit of overreaction there.
And Al Likens was having a hell of a race here.
Was.
He really was. And now his car is absolutely destroyed. So we'll see if we find him in the infield car care center.
Room? Yeah.
Big question now is who pits, who doesn't. I would probably say with tires as fresh as lap 93, we should be A-okay. Oddly enough, the one with the freshest tires is actually sitting in that number 1 spot.
Yes. I was going to say initially 1 through 5, not a one of them had taken tires in that lap 93 pit stop. But now you've got Cody Reeder. Looks like he did. He took those 4 tires and fuel right out front. But 2 through 6 behind him, I mean, you think they will be contenders? since tires don't matter too much at Talladega?
It's a possibility. I would say launch control is going to go to Cody Reeder.
All right.
So he's going to get a good takeoff here. I'm taking a look at Sam Taylor. Hats off to Sam Taylor for going out there and getting that number 12 fixed up. Remember, he hammered off the wall.
Yes.
Blade Timmons still
30
fighting a little
seconds
bit
now.
of damage there to the front. Remember, the 21 hit the wall hard.
Ugh.
And now Likens, he's dealing with the damage. And Ed Adams. So, oddly enough, Stella, I am fairly certain, unless there is a full disconnect here, the 0 car of Nick Pressey has gone and taken it to the garage as we take a look here at Talladega. 2.66 miles here of speed, 200 miles an hour. I know some of you guys may be thinking, hey, you know, when I ran a mile, you know, back when the 4-minute line was broken, first guy to run 4 minutes in a mile, these guys are doing 2.5 miles in less than 48 seconds.
Yeah.
So, Stella, I like putting that into perspective. Yeah, we're talking about somebody in a foot race and a 900 horsepower car, but it still staggers me that the amount of speed that these guys can do 3 wide at 200 miles an hour at under 48, 49 seconds per lap and then do it 113 times, there's going to be a mistake.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If you're just looking at wear and tear on your car, wear and tear on your nerves. So. But do you actually know who broke the 4-minute mile?
No.
Okay. Britain's Roger Bannister.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching something on it, but they didn't mention his name. I saw the ending of the race, and it was pretty wild.
Yes. Yes.
So Matthew George coming in late here in the pit. Ed Adams continues to fix that car. Al Likens looks like he's able to return.
Nice.
Heavy damage to the left front, though.
2 minutes, 39 seconds.
Yeah, he's not going to be in contention, though. You see that left front pretty jacked up there. Ed Adams hasn't even returned. And I don't think he hit the wall even as hard as he did.
Yeah, he's coming up on 5 minutes.
Yeah, because, I mean, he hammered off that wall when Ed Adams came down and clipped it. I mean, just absolutely brutal here.
So it looks like Nick Pressey, Dustin Kleba, James Hudson, and Jacob Lee have chosen to take it to the garage for this final finish. All of these having done so before lap 100.
Yep. I would say Dustin Kleba continuing to turn laps here. This should move him up to the 22nd position. If Ed Adams cannot return, this will put him in the 21st position.
Ah.
So good job by Kleba continuing to race this race, especially since he got an unfavorable no caution call.
Really, really. So yeah, he is currently holding 6th place in the driver standings. This isn't going to help too much in that respect, but beats the heck out of a DNF.
Yep. I think everybody getting a little confused here where they're supposed to be in this lineup. Nick Pressey said full internet failure, so that dropped him out.
Oh.
So hopefully he can go ahead and qualify for next week's race at Auto Club.
Sounds good.
And look at Vincent Arthur take off.
And look at Cody Reeder say, not today. Ouch.
Well, Reeder's got to all of a sudden play defense here for the next 8 laps. But we've seen this before. Vincent Arthur in the 19. These two guys have gotten into it before. I don't know if you remember. It was a little while ago. I think about 3 races ago when we saw this happen last time. 2 of these guys got into it.
Yeah, there's a fine line between pushing and pit maneuver, though.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to remember if it was at Darlington.
Not a fan of the pit maneuver.
taking a look back right now. Cody Reeder needs to try to pinch him. Keep Vincent Arthur stuck right there on the inside of Essery. They're already starting to spread 3 wide behind him there, so somebody knows something's getting ready to switch up again. Outside line being led by Cody Height. Dalton Tucker following right behind with the 41 of Brian Powell behind him. Boy, look at Dalton Tucker getting close to that top line here. Right now, he's got nowhere to go. Dylan Picklesheimer pretty quiet here all night.
Yeah, but I like that center line. They are 3 tucked together really tight. Hey.
Yep.
Vincent Arthur is hoping Cody Reeder is looking at his rear view, and that would have just geeked him out and caused him to make a mistake, but not today.
Now remember, Cody Reeder is actually running halfway up the lane here, which is a beautiful tactic. You cannot pass below the yellow line. So right now, I am loving what Cody Reeder's doing, is he's actually able to block the bottom lane because he's got nowhere to go.
I like it.
If he defends low, he could bump Essery out of the way, and Vincent Arthur try to sling around him here, right there. But he knows Essery closes the gap on these wide turns. That were the last lap there. Essery had him. Right now, watch Cody Smith. Smith's getting a little bit loose there. That's out of your trio that you were enjoying before. I know those 2 guys are having some issues and some words with each other. Yeah, notice Vincent Arthur taking another look.
Man.
Boy, him swiping back and forth, he's asking for trouble here.
Yes. Well, he's not asking, he's telling. That's my point. A win is one thing, be clean to do it. All right, here we go. We have currently 17 fellas on the lead lap. And I believe 21 on the field.
I
believe they're trying to make the 3rd line.
Yep, line now starting to come into play here. Seems sling by, still speeds up over 200 miles an hour. Right now, Aaron Essery holding on to the outside line. Cody Reeder wants it. Right now, still is unable to get a hold of him on this dogleg turn. Vincent Arthur getting agitated here. You can tell that 24 wants to move. He's got the 48 of Jake Christenberry sitting right behind him. Christenberry is offering some assistance here, but he notices that 24. It's hard to push when he's not in the same spot.
No. Now, my curiosity is if Cody Reeder has enough tires to take off when the time comes, he can continue to just use Eric Essery as a block for Vincent Arthur.
Yes. Well, that's 100% what he's doing. I don't think Cody Reeder wants to separate from this pack. But look at that. Quick change up here. Cody Smith to the outside. That's going to put Essery on the back burner here. 2 fills in the gap. And that lap goes to Cody Reeder. 2 laps left to go in this one. We got just over 5 miles. Right now we're taking a look with Cody Smith on the outside. Dalton Tucker down to 9th. Notice Brady Moats lining himself up for a top 10, but man, Stella, I smell trouble.
Yes.
Yeah, something's getting ready to happen here. The drivers in position, I would say, are the 16, the 1, and the 20. May be in a good position. As right now, they're getting ready to shuffle up in front of them here. Now this is Powell and everybody else. White flag this time by. Cody Smith has the lead. Now Essery has the lead. Who's going to get it at the line? Essery's going to keep it at the line. So is this definitely a future call out here for the end of this lap? Cody Reeder still having it inside line. He's got to figure out how to block Esri out. Esri's getting close. Cody Reeder would love to come up with the win.
Oh.
Yep, here it is. There's the bunch up on the inside line. That's going to give a huge run, pushing Cody Reeder out to the front yet again. Let's get a little closer as the 32 machine of Eric Esri. 18 positions gained on the night, but can he hold it? As a 19 Dodge down on the bottom, the Monte Carlo of Eric Esri in the center. Coming to the line. Here we go. What can they do? Can they figure it out? Can they come up with a kind of a plan? Esri out front, loses some speed. Here it comes. Pile up at the line. Cody Reeder gets it.
My goodness.
Cody Reeder gets it. Stella, do you have a time? I have triple zeros here.
Oh, dear. Wow. I know. I am looking at, there is no time until you get to Dylan Picklesheimer at .06 behind.
Holy cow. That may be the closest finish
Ever.
Yeah, in SimTraX history on that one. I've never seen it get so close that it doesn't know.
Wow. Yeah, I do not have, seriously, that's impressive.
All right,
I
we're
mean,
going
we're
to
not
show
talking
this again.
tenths or hundreds.
As I want to see where we are. Pile up in the spin out start. Here's to the line. Got him.
And further apart than I would think by the 0-0.
Yep. And Picklesheimer, fantastic job. I'm fairly certain I can catch it here.
Wow.
That's close. Awesome job. Cody Reeder just edging it out here. Holy cow. All right, well-deserved burnout here from Cody Reeder as he comes away with the win. And Stella, I have to say, I think that's the first time I've seen the leader win it.
Oh, in the last
Yeah.
10 feet they get past? Yeah.
Yep, normally. All right. Awesome job here, Cody Reeder. Excellent job. All the way to the end, sticking it out. And he was able to make it all the way there to the end. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get our race results up. Let's see if it can give me something better on a time here. There you go. 40 thousandths of a second.
Okay.
4 thousandths
I
of a
can
second.
live with.
Yep. That's close.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Stella, what do you say we reel in our drivers here, get ready to get these guys warmed up, and we'll try to get this lightning round over with, starting with Dylan Picklesheimer. Hold on, guys. Yep. All right. Nasty finish here toward the end, but brought it pretty close. 60 thousandths of a second. You were behind here from the rest of the field. Dylan, what a race this was, man. You didn't give up when you were only stuck out there with 3 drivers.
Yeah, man. We almost had 4. We tried to get James to stay with us. He just had problems with pit. And we were kind of confused when they pitted at lap 16. We ended up going long, so it kind of got us off cycle. And we called them towards the end of that last little caution or pit stop, but they pulled away and they were kind of keeping the gap. But we were able to get that lucky caution. I thought I was done when I got in that wreck and smacked the wall, but we were able to pull P3 out tonight and finally get a podium here in this league. It's been a rough season. I'm the 6th place finisher like a couple times this year, so it's nice to finally get a top 5 and a top 3 and be there at the end, man.
Man, did you think it was going to end up like this as a brawl toward the end? And is it going to transfer over to Auto Club where you guys are going to duke it out there?
Yeah, for sure. This car at this track is so much fun. You can do whatever you want to with it. You just gotta make sure it don't overheat. And I knew coming in it was gonna be a brawl, especially with the cautions we got there at the end. And it's probably gonna be the same way at Auto Club. I did a couple laps earlier, and it's slick there. So I don't know how much of a pack race we're gonna do, but it's gonna be fun and looking forward to it.
All right, Dylan Picklesheimer, shout out time. Talk to me about that Rusty Wallace machine.
Yeah, I want to thank my team, Al, Sam, James Hudson, Daryl. I want to get a special shout out to him. His mom passed away like this weekend, so he's not doing too good right now. So I just want to say we're thinking about your brother and hope you're good, brother. That sucks. And then like I'm forgetting one. Tay wasn't here tonight, but thank him and thank you two for putting on the broadcast. And I gotta thank the admins. This league's been fun this year, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Dylan Picklesheimer, hopefully this helps you with some of your bad luck that you've had here as of late, and maybe Auto Club and Talladega will turn it around. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Stella, you have caught up with our 2nd place finisher of Eric Essery. What a job he did out there in the 32 Tide machine. Go ahead and talk to him out there about his Chevy Monte Carlo and how in the world did he survive to the end.
No kidding. Well, there's your first question, Mr. Essery.
Yeah, it's all about survival at Talladega for sure, but they had a little wreck early on, and we just sort of got split up, so we knew just at that point just stay on the lead lap, and we did that. And then once the race got on there, you know, like it normally does, just a little 20-lap or 30-lap sprint.
So yeah, that you were kind of working as a blocker unintentionally there for the number 24. Cody Reeder was keeping him blocked in with you. Did Vincent Arthur give you any door action there to try to make some space for himself?
No, he raced it clean. He's a really good pusher, though. He pushed me for a little while, and that's why I held the middle lane there before that last caution. And then when he was behind the 19 there on the end, I knew that was going to be tough to beat that push. So he knows what he's doing for sure. But, yeah, it just comes down to the end. You know they're going to wreck. You just hope you're not one of them. And then it was just the last 2 standing, and Cody beat me by a bumper there.
Oh, my goodness. Maybe not even the bumper. Maybe just the bolts on the chin spoiler. So, yeah, it was into the thousandths. That was very close. But go ahead, tell me about your Tide machine and how you're going to do in Auto Club next week.
Well, hopefully I can make it. I work out of town a lot, so I'm just kind of hit and miss. That's why I missed the last couple. And but I like Auto Club, and these cars. The reason why I like to run them is because they got a lot of power, and so you know, you race anywhere but the restrictor plates, you really feel them and feel like you're making a difference. Whereas here it's kind of back to the same old with how these how any cars run. So yeah, if we make it to Auto Club, it'll be fun. It's kind of a wearing out tire management track. So even though we only run about 20 laps of fuel, it seems like you know, it still makes a little bit of difference conserving the tires. But it's a rough track, and it's a lot of fun to maneuver.
Very cool. Very cool. You got some shout outs for us tonight?
Yeah, of course, my family and who's watching, and my new wife is now, we're just recently married, so shout out to them, and if they're even watching, and good job for you guys, because y'all do a great job putting this on. I always go back and watch it, so good job on your part.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, we have fun doing it, so I think it shows. Patrick is amazing. So, oh dear, we are watching the carnage behind you.
Yeah.
So, make sure to watch this back. Well, thank you very much, and we will, fingers crossed, see you next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, awesome job there by Eric Essery. As we see Cody Reeder nudge him out and beat him by just barely. Cody Reeder gets him here at the line as we are taking a look at the slow-mo replay here of him crossing the line with the rest of the field spinning out behind him. And what a race it was, especially all the way up to the end. You come away with the Aaron's 299 win here. Cody Reeder, I'll tell you what, man, from my angle, and I have no other way of explaining it, if Dustin Kleba has a horrible night, you do awesome. If you have a horrible night, Dustin Kleba comes away with something, and it seems to continue that role here.
Unfortunately for me, Dustin doesn't have too many bad nights, so just need to work on that maybe.
All right, well, the In the Fence podcast is going to have a little highs and lows for this upcoming run, what it's like to finish in the number one position, and then the other guy will have a little rebuttal of what it's like to finish in the 21st position. An unfavorable caution out there, not for Dustin Kleba. I know for Evernham Motorsports, you guys want to collect as many points as possible. Do you have anything you want to kind of shed some light on at the beginning of the race for your teammate?
I bailed out pretty early because I know when these things start, there's typically some type of caution within the first 10, 15 laps. But and I'm always kind of urging Dustin to try and like back out of it, but he was middle three wide, so it's like he couldn't go anywhere. So I bailed because I thought something was going to happen, and sure enough, from what he had said, he got doored by somebody and thought he saved it, and then got hit again and wrecked, and no caution came out, and that was pretty much all she wrote for him. So unfortunate for him, but ended up being a good night, obviously, for me.
All right, well, the Jeremy Mayfield car comes in winner's circle here tonight. Talladega is always a toss-up, and I would say you were the first one I've seen sit in the number one position for at least 3 laps before checkered flag and still win it. Normally, it's always that dogleg pass here at the end, and I'm not saying the giant pileup behind you assisted, but man, what a run there to the end. I've got to ask, though, were you pinching Vincent Arthur against Eric Essery so he had nowhere to go?
Well, yeah, so a little bit. I knew I had a good shot at winning if I could keep Vincent behind me, but I know Vincent as a competitor wants to win. So I was trying not to get too far ahead to where he could clear the 32 and jump up.
Yes.
So, I mean, there was a little strategy there. Vincent did a great job. I know he was running hot. I was just trying my best to keep some air to flow into his bumper just so he could, keep the temps down. But and Cody behind Eric there I know he was pushing it pretty good too. So luckily I didn't have to slow up too much. But yeah, there was definitely a little bit of that. I knew if he got clear of the 32, I thought he was going to take it, even though his teammate was behind him. So I did my best to try and keep him there, but he did an awesome job pushing me. And there was a couple times where Eric beat me to the line, but for the most part, I felt like we had it under control.
Had it under control. What a wild way of putting it. Because from our angle, it looked like Vincent Arthur was trying to turn you about 100 times. He was down
out
the
of
track,
control.
off the track, sliding the bumper across the back end. And I said, Cody Reeder, right now, I guarantee you, do not look in the rearview mirror because it's going to make you want to puke. Because this is going just crazy out here.
Yeah, I don't know that I've really looked much out of the windshield the last 10 laps. Like, we got going green, and he must have had a really good start or a push or something. I don't know what happened, but he got to the inside of Cody and Eric, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna park on the bottom here, and we'll see what happens. It ended up working out, but No, I mean there was couple times where he got to my right rear, and I felt like, uh-oh, like I might be turning here, but no, he did a great job just keeping me straight. And yeah, I mean, it was a couple times where I was swatting flies on a couple of those pushes, but I can't complain, man. I'm sitting here in victory lane, so.
All right,
Watching
Cody.
flies.
All right, well,
Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me later.
Well, tune into the in the field in the fence podcast out there, and I'm sure he'll go ahead and explain to his viewers as well. Cody Reeder, congratulations on your win here at the Aaron's 299. Go ahead and give me a shout out here, bud.
Yeah, I got to shout out, obviously my teammate Dustin. He didn't provide not a lot of assistance tonight, but I'm glad that he hung in there. I got to shout out Cody Smith, man. Like, one thing that you guys can't see in the broadcast is just a little bit of alliances that are working out. And so Cody Smith and I were working together pretty much all race. And man, every pit stop, every green flag pit stop, man, was just executed perfectly, which put us in great position. And then at the end, we were kind of working together to try and miss the big wreck, and that worked out. I mean, everything kind of worked in our favor. So shout out to him. Thanks Vincent, obviously pushing the heck out of me to get to the line. And Eric, I mean, he could have turned me coming to the checkered, but I got to ask you guys, was it as close as it felt coming to the line?
Yes, sir. It sure was.
Yep. We had to watch it about 3 or 4 times at 3 or 4 different angles, watching it come across, and you got him by I think the green fairing, the valance there on the bottom. I mean,
wow.
it was close. I mean, you got him by 4 thousandths of a second.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, it threw our measuring thing into such disarray. It all zeroed out.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
It was really close.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for broadcasting every week, and supporting the podcast too. If you guys are listening, looking to waste an hour and a half of your week listening to two guys talk racing, check out In the Fence on Spotify.
Sweet. All right, Cody Reeder, congratulations, buddy. And we will see you here in the next couple of weeks. Good luck out there, bud.
Thank you.
All right. Stella, what a race, especially down there toward the end. I would say Talladega never disappoints. Always a hype up, always tons of stuff going on out there. And a lot of guys just scrambling to make it there to the last lap. And it was the war of attrition and survival there, especially right at the end.
Oh yeah, they got to doing some bumping and twisting around, but I like it. And next week, I'm looking forward to 150 laps at Auto Club. And remember, viewers, we are 2 races away from the All-Star race, so should be interesting. Stay tuned.
All right, Stella, you've been talking a little bit about Auto Club. Auto Club, we will actually be missing here. It's going to be an off week. NORA will be racing, but we will not be broadcasting that one. Stay in tune here with the National Oval Racing Association for any updates that we've got going on. We'll go ahead and get the stream link put up when we're set and ready to go. And it's kind of everything will boil down. You guys will figure it out from there. Awesome here from the NORA Gen 4 Cup Series League. Guys, if you want to race, fix setup, let's get going here. It's not too late. There's still time to go ahead and run these guys down before the playoffs start, and we are still before the All-Star race. Yeah, back to the Lowe's Motor Speedway where it should be, shootout style. All right, everybody, from everybody here at SimTraX Broadcasting, bring you the National Oval Racing Association. Be well, be safe, be kind. See all you guys next time.